Welcome to another lesson. This is a continuation of functions in JavaScript that you have been learning, and in this lesson we'll be looking at arrow functions in JavaScript. Arrow functions allow us to write certain function syntax. Before arrow functions, I've demonstrated how we used to write function. So if you want to compute the product of A and B before arrow functions, the way you would do it is this. Let my function equals function keyword, then the parameters, and then we do return A asterisk B, and I can just call this. Since it's already assigned to a variable, I can call it directly and pass in parameters this way, and then this will work. Now you can see function keyword, these brackets and parameters, and then these curly braces, and then the function task assigned to a variable, and I'm calling it by passing in the parameter. This is how it used to be if you want to work with functions before the arrow functions in JavaScript. Now, with arrow function, the function that we just wrote here now can be simplified this way. Now, let my function equals AB, and then this is the arrow function, A asterisk B. So there are two things to arrow functions in JavaScript. The two things is this. Now, the first one is that when you use curly braces in an arrow function, it is treated as a function. So let me first write it. Let functions equals, with arrow function, I want to transform this into arrow function. You don't need the function keyword again. Then here you can just pass that arrow. You see this thing looks like an arrow. So then you can return the value of what you want. Now, if I take this out, I want to show us something. If I take out the return statement, let me put everything on a single line so that I can use it to demonstrate what I want to explain. Now, if I take out this return statement and do something like this, you will definitely get undefined. Now look at this, undefined. And the reason is because when you use curly braces in an arrow function, so I'm referring to these curly braces, it is treated as a function body that, expects an explicit return statement. Without one, the function implicitly will be undefined, which means that the output of such function will be undefined because it expects that return statement, which I just removed. And so by just returning the return statement this way, this will give us the correct output that we expect to get from this function. So you can see that with arrow functions, it has simplified the syntax in the sense that you no longer need that function keyword to appear before you can define your function. You can see that the function keyword has been taken out of this expression now, and the only thing we are doing is that we assign that function to a variable, and then we are getting an output. But without assigning it to a variable as it is, it will not stand alone and it will not work if it stands alone on its own. Another way is that we can also do an implicit return. The implicit return means that if it is a single expression, we can remove this curly brace entirely. I'm talking about these two curly braces that we have here. We can remove it entirely with the bracket. If I do this, I'm still going to get my result. You can see what this is doing. You can see that without the curly braces, I have been able to output the correct result that I want. And this time is often used when you are doing maybe a functional programming. It automatically returns the result of the expression. You can see that without the curly braces, it works. And now, if you take a look at this and the last one, the previous one, compared to the way we used to have functions this way, that my function my function this, and then this, and then code goes here. You can see a lot of difference between this traditional way and the arrow functions